Hey there, let me guess. You paid your credit card, you felt responsible, and then the balance barely moved. So you look at your card details and see this, APR. And your brain goes, wait, am I being charged 24% every month? Today, we're going to make APR boring. Because once it's boring, it's controllable. Here's the roadmap. First, what APR really means in plain English. Second, the biggest misconception that causes surprise interest. Third, the two boxes that almost everyone confuses. Fourth, the simple interest machine behind credit cards. Fifth, a clean round number example with step-by-step math. Sixth, the not that simple rules that change the final cost. Seventh, the simple habits that shrink interest fast. And I want you to remember one line through the whole video. Time plus balance equals interest grows. Now that we know the roadmap, the next question is what APR actually means. Section 2. What APR is and the number one misconception. APR stands for annual percentage rate. Annual means per year, not per month, not per purchase, not per statement, per year. Here's the misconception. Most people think my APR is 24%, so I pay 24% extra every month. But that's not how it works. APR is like the speed limit. It tells you how fast interest can grow over a year. But the card doesn't wait a full year to do anything. Credit cards usually take that annual rate and slice it into daily pieces. So instead of one big hit, it's more like tiny charges that can add up. Think of it like this. If debt sits there, it has time to collect interest. If debt doesn't sit there, there's less time to collect interest. This is true in dollars, euros, pounds, yen, pesos, doesn't matter. The currency changes, the math logic doesn't. So APR is not the fee. APR is the rate, and your actual interest is the result of rate plus time plus balance. Now that we know APR is an annual rate broken into smaller time chunks, the next question is which balance the card applies that rate to. Section 3. Two boxes, statement balance versus current balance. Okay, two boxes time. Because this confusion causes most "why did I get interest" moments. Box A is your statement balance. That's the balance shown on your monthly statement closing date. It's basically the official bill for that cycle. Box B is your current balance. That's what you owe right now, today, after purchases, payments, and refunds. These two numbers can be different, and they behave differently. Now let's add two dates. There's the statement closing date, when Box A gets created, and there's the payment due date, when you're supposed to pay Box A. Here's the big idea. Many cards offer a grace period on purchases, but it usually depends on you paying Box A in full by the due date. Wait, hold on. That sentence matters. It's not pay something. It's not pay most of it. It's pay the statement balance in full. Because that's what keeps the grace period alive for many cards. So you can pay money, watch Box B drop, and still get interest, if you carried Box A past the due date even a little. Now that we know the two boxes and the key dates, the next question is how the interest machine actually calculates what you owe. Section 4. The credit card interest machine. Daily rate times balance times days. Let's break the machine down into three simple parts. Part 1. The daily rate. Most cards take your APR and divide it by 365 days, so your annual rate becomes a daily rate. Part 2. The balance measurement. A common method is average daily balance. That means the card looks at your balance each day in the cycle, adds those daily balances up, then divides by the number of days. Part 3. The time. How many days did you carry that balance? More days means more interest. Now the grace period again, in plain language. If you pay your statement balance in full by the due date, Many cards don't charge interest on new purchases for that cycle. But if you don't pay the statement balance in full, many cards treat you as revolving. And when you're revolving, new purchases may start collecting interest sooner than you expect. That's why two people can buy the exact same thing on the exact same card and pay different interest, because their timing and payoff behavior are different. Now that we know the machine parts, the next question is what the math looks like with clean round numbers. Section 5. Round number math example. Step by step. Let's do a simple example with round numbers. No tricks, no weird decimals until we have to. Assume this. You carry a $1,000 balance for a full 30-day billing cycle. Your APR is 24%. Step 1. Convert APR to a daily rate. 24% as a decimal is 0.24. Daily rate is 0.24 divided by 365. 0.24 divided by 365 approximates to 0.000657. That's about 0.0657% per day. Step 2. Calculate 1 day of interest. $1,000 times 0.000657 equals $0.657. That's about 66 cents per day. Step 3. Multiply by 30 days for a simple estimate. $0.657 times 30 equals $19.71. So you pay about $19.71 in interest that month in this simplified example. Now, real cards often compound daily and may use average daily balance, so the exact result can be slightly different. But the direction is the same every time. Bigger balance or more time means more interest. And that brings us back to the mechanism line again. Time plus balance equals interest grows. Now that we know the basic math, the next question is why your real statement can look messier than this clean example. Section 6. Not that simple. 6 real-world modifiers. Not that simple, because real credit card interest isn't just APR times balance, it's APR plus rules. Here are 6 modifiers that change what you actually pay. Modifier 1. Variable APR. Your APR can change over time based on benchmark rates. In the US, it often moves with commonly used benchmarks like prime rate behavior. In other countries, similar shifts happen when central banks raise or lower rates. Modifier 2. Different APR buckets. Purchases can have one APR, balance transfers can have another APR, cash advances can have a third APR. Modifier 3. Cash advance fees and no grace behavior. Cash advances often start interest immediately and add a fee on top. Modifier 4. Daily compounding. If interest is calculated daily, then the balance can creep upward a little faster than simple math suggests. Modifier 5. Fees that don't care about APR. Late fees, annual fees, and foreign transaction fees can hit even if you're thinking only about interest. Modifier 6. Payment allocation rules. If you have multiple balances, like a 0% promo balance and a regular purchase balance, your payment may be applied in a specific order. That order can change how fast expensive debt disappears. So the headline APR is just the start. The final cost depends on category, timing, and rules. Now that we know the not that simple modifiers, the next question is what you can do in real life to pay less interest. Section 7. The simple playbook. How to pay less interest. Let's make this practical. Here's a simple playbook you can use without becoming a finance person. Play 1. Aim for the statement balance. Not some payment, not most of it. If you can, pay the statement balance in full by the due date. That's what often protects your grace period on purchases. Play 2. Respect the calendar. If you wait until the due date every time, your balance sits longer. If you pay earlier, you reduce the time your balance is hanging around. Less time means less interest. Play 3. Be careful adding new purchases when you're carrying a balance. If you're revolving, you may not have a grace period the way you think you do, so new purchases can start collecting interest faster. Play 4. Avoid cash advances unless you truly understand the cost. They often come with fees and immediate interest. Play 5. If you're using a 0% offer, know the rules. Know the end date, know what happens after, and know how payments are allocated across balances. The goal is simple. Reduce either the balance, the time, or both. Now that we know the playbook, the next question is how to summarize APR in one mental model you'll remember next time you open your statement. Conclusion. Let's wrap it up. APR is an annual rate. Credit cards usually apply it in daily pieces, and the interest you pay depends on how long a balance sits there and how big that balance is. Most people think APR is a monthly punch, but it's usually a time-based drip. That's why paying earlier and paying the statement balance matters so much. Remember the two boxes. Statement balance is the bill for the cycle. Current balance is the live number today. If you mix them up, you can get surprised by interest. Remember the not that simple stuff too. Variable rates, different buckets, cash advances, compounding, fees, payment rules. APR is the headline. The rules decide the real cost. And here's the mechanism line one last time. Time plus balance equals interest grows. If you want more money to find videos like 0% promos, balance transfers, credit utilization, or how minimum payments really work, like the video, subscribe, and comment what you want next.